Hello and welcome to Racing in Queensland. I'm your host Jesse McDonald. It's my co-host Paul Knight. Welcome, Paul.
Jess, lovely to be here. What a busy week it's been, my friend.
It's been a huge week and we've got plenty on the show coming up. We've got Debbie Rogerson when we're back to the track. We've also got a look at Military Grace. We've got interviews with Steve Andrew and Prue Reed. And we're going to take a look at the $1 million putt with Larry Cassidy to see if he can sink the putt under pressure.
I'm sure he can. But you'll have to wait for that later.
You'll have to wait later on in the show for that, but moving on. Let's just have a quick look at the $1 million putt and see what happens.
This is a one then.
All right. We're here now at the lovely Parkwood Golf Club. Parkwood International Golf Club, I should say. And this is where it's at. The $1 million putt. Has Larry Cassidy got what it takes for $1 million? The pressure's on. He's lining it up. Quiet in the audience. Well, stay tuned with us during the show where we're going to have a look at the $1 million putt and see if Larry's up to the pressure. What do you reckon, Paul?
You'll have to stay tuned. We can't let the cat
exactly
out of the bag.
That's right. So stay tuned. Now, race 4, it's a size produce, big race. Paul, what do you like?
Mate, the Group 2 for the 2-year-olds up here. Finding it hard to split between the two Peter Snowden horses, Free Willing and Benfica. Both last start winners up here. I think they'll both figure heavily in the
They will.
In the placings. So
yeah.
They'll be hard to separate. But I've gone for Benfica. I think he'll probably just have a bit more than Free Willing. And for third, I like Hot Schnitzel from the Gerald Ryan stable.
Yeah, no.
Jess, what have you found for our punters here?
Well, during the week we caught up with Debbie Rogerson and I had a look at Dowager Queen gallop on the course proper. She was very impressive.
Very impressive, was she?
Oh, very impressive. She was so impressive, I'm on.
I know.
So I'm tipping I'm tipping number 12, a Dowager Queen on top from the Rogerson stable. Over here from New Zealand, this horse is, she's going to be very hard to beat by Savabeel, so the distance won't be an issue. I'm putting in number 1, Hot Schnitzel for second from the Gerald Ryan stable, as we saw last week, catching up with travelling foreman from the Gerald Ryan stable, Bradley Banfield. He's in great form, Hot Schnitzel, and he's going to be very competitive. And for third, I like number 3, your selection, Benfica. So I like 12, 1 and 3. Now, we're down the story of the week, where we're catching up with the course curator of the Gold Coast Turf Club, Steve Andrews. I'm with Stephen Andrews, racecourse manager of the Gold Coast Turf Club, but more known to punters as the starter. And Steve, how did you get involved in the racing industry?
Our family's always been involved in the racing industry, Jess. Dad was always involved with trotters. He dabbled his hand a little bit at a couple of gallopers as well. My older brother, he also had a go at a few trotters, and he's just starting to come into the gallopers now as well. So we've always been involved with horses. Our background comes from the dairy industry. Dad used to run dairy cattle on the Gold Coast Turf Club property here many years ago, before it was ever a racetrack. And as I say, we've always been involved in horses. We were brought up through Pony Club, and I got a job as a groundsman here on the Turf Club, and went from there.
So just tell us what's involved in the daily upkeep and maintenance of the racetrack.
Our daily maintenance is very routine from week in to week out, because we race nearly every Saturday now, and a few extra meetings as well on the public holidays and that. We get down to a routine pattern, that things that have to be done every day, week in, week out. We have some 600 horses work here or train here every morning. So we have an inside plough track, which is a natural dirt track we have for the horses that train on. A number 2 grass or B grass. There's also a sand track, a velvet track, which is a semi-synthetic track, and a 1,000-metre track just west of the grandstand complex, which is 1,000 metres round, which is also a crusher dust track with sand mixture in it. So we've got quite a few tracks there that we have to harrow back and drag back and roll and water every day, so they're ready for next morning for track work.
With so many races held here at the Turf Club on a week in, week out basis, how do you manage the track when it has so much racing?
The climate lends itself pretty well to the species of grass we have on the track here. We have predominantly kikuyu grass here on the course proper, and it's very vigorous in our summer month. It does slow down a little bit in the winter. With our winters becoming a little bit warmer, I've found that it doesn't become totally dormant now. We normally oversow with a ryegrass over the winter time to hold the track together. And as I say, the week in, week out, the track handles it very well, and the kikuyu grass seems to handle the wear and tear very well as well.
You mentioned something about kikuyu and the climate. Does the climate play a part in the racing surface of each club, or is there a standard or specific type used?
There's no standard or specific type. Each area of Australia, I suppose, they have their own idiosyncrasies that would lend themselves to different species of grass. Like we use the warmer season climate grasses up here in Queensland. Victoria and those areas, they use your cooler climate grasses. So it basically, whatever area in, you use your right grass or your right seeds to put on the track for that.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for your insight into the managing of the racetrack. I guess now moving on to know your track, let's have a look at each starting point and get your viewpoint on each start.
All right then, Jess. Yeah, I'll take you around. We'll have a look. Our 900 metre start, it's a fairly good start. The 1200 metre start, which is our Magic Million start. We also have a 13-14, gives them a good run in down the back straight, 300-400 metres, and then we have an 1800 metre start as well too, so we'll have a look at them.
Great, let's get to it.
Let's start here, Jess. As you can see, this is what the jockeys see down there. We can start a maximum of 14 runners from this point. It's a 300 metre run in, one turn, then down the front straight. 1200 metre start here, our Magic Million start, which is our biggest event for the year. We can start 16 2-year-olds out of this start. On a feature day, we can start 18 runners, but because they're 2-year-olds, we've got to limit it back to 16. As you can see there, we've got about a 300 metre run into the first turn, and it's a nice straight run. 1400 metre start, Jess. Probably our biggest race would start from here is the Goal Market. We've got a 400 metre run in, nice straight run, straight down the back straight, one turn into the front straight and home. Rightio, Jess, this is our 1800 metre start, which we start the PM's Cup out of here. 14 runners here, a little bit narrower. From here is the PM's Cup now. PM's Cup's been over several distances, from 2400 back to 1300.
Well, another interesting insight with Steve Andrews, the course curator and the starter.
He is indeed. Very interesting man, Steve. He's got a long history over there at the Gold Coast Turf Club.
He does.
A long family history.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. His father used to raise cattle, as he said, raise cattle on that property before it was even a turf club.
Yeah, exactly. He knows a lot about the land.
He knows a lot about the grass, especially in that area. Now it's race 5, the Dane Ripper, 1400 metres.
Group 2 for the fillies and mares. What have you picked, Jess?
Well, I'm sticking with one I tipped here on the show 2 weeks ago, number 12, Ladies Angel. I spoke with the makeup artist Natalie, and she likes it on top, and I do too. So I'm tipping number 12, Ladies Angel. I like number 7, Tallow for second, and number 9 from the Peter Moody stable, Return to Sender. So maybe it just might have a bit of ladies' luck, and I'm going to tip number 12, Ladies Angel.
You've tipped that on top.
On top.
Good man. I'm sticking with Kansan. Hard to go past a filly that's in form at the moment, mate. One last start, one well like a good thing. Again from the Peter Snowden stable. I'm tipping.
He was good to you too 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
6 to 1.
6 to 1. So I'm staying with her. Hard to beat.
You are in good form.
Yep. Zero Rock for second was around the money. He's been consistent. And for third, I like one of your selections, Hurtle Myrtle. So I've tipped 3, 5 and 8. Now where are we off to, champ?
We're off to a commercial break.
The carnival is when all my hard work pays off.
An exciting opportunity to entertain my clients.
The carnival is Brisbane's main racing event.
Your chance for a big win.
An event the whole family can enjoy.
My chance to take centre stage.
The carnival bursts into action with 5 blockbuster racing events and a series of social occasions between May 14 and June 11. The Channel 7 Brisbane Racing Carnival. Make it yours.
Treasury Casino Queensland Oaks Ladies' Day on Saturday, June 4 is the pinnacle of fashion and glamour when it comes to the Channel 7 Brisbane Racing Carnival. You can soak up the style by entering the David Jones Fashions on the Field, or visit the Bobby Brown Powder Room, or even watch the celebrity designed millinery parade. You can even get yourself one of those special hats designed by Channel 7 television personalities and radio personalities by bidding online on the BRC website. Tickets to Treasury Casino Queensland Oaks Ladies' Day are available through Ticketek or visit brc.com.au.
This is a one then.
All right. We're here now at the lovely Parkwood Golf Club. Parkwood International Golf Club, I should say. And this is where it's at, the $1 million putt. Has Larry Cassidy got what it takes for $1 million? The pressure's on. He's lining it up. Quiet in the audience. And welcome back, and it's going to be a big day up there at Oaks Day. Now it's race 6, the 1300 QDC Cup. Hard race.
It is a hard race. It's the race where the last chance to get into the Group 1 Stradbroke next Saturday will be a hard race. Mate, I've gone for Felino, number 16. Last start winner at Doomben. He's down in the weights, up in class, but I think he's got the ability to win here. He's a horse on the way up. One of these 3-year-olds trying to qualify for the Stradbroke.
He's on the way up.
So I think he'll be a big hope. I like number 1 from the Peter Snowden stable, Pinwheel. Drawn a bit wide, but he's a good horse. The weight and the barrier might stop him here, but I think he'll be running into a place. Ran second in the Goodwood over in Morfettville last start, so he'll be a good hope. And one of my consistent gallopers that you and I like to tip, number 9, Listen Son from the Tony Gollan stable. I think he'll be figuring around the money, so I've got 16, 1 and 9. Jess, what are you going to fry the punters with?
Yeah, I was going to put Listen Son on top, but drawing the 19, Larry's going to have his work cut out.
He'll have a paintbrush out there, be able to do the outside rail.
Yeah, no, there'll be a few parking inspectors around out there, that's for sure. I found a special here. I like number 7, Hume from the Brian Smith stable. I'm tipping it a certainty. Now I'm just on this horse each way. Unlike Ombre last week, where I got fried more than a turkey on a Christmas dinner table, I tell you, I got burnt. I got absolutely fried. And he got hammered, fair enough. He got hammered on the home turn. He got absolutely poleaxed by Femina Fashion. So, you know, he didn't really have a clear run, but whether he would have won or not's another thing. But never mind, I like number 7, Hume from the Brian Smith stable. It's drawn the 4, Rick McMahon. It's first up. It's had 3 starts first up for 3 wins. It's had 4 starts at the track for 2 wins and a second. I like it a lot.
Mate, and he's had 2 years to prepare for this race since his last start, so he should be fit.
And he likes it fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm putting him on top. I'm putting the big star to storm down the outside. Number 10, Sincero from the Stephen Farley stable. It's had 11 starts for 8 wins. This horse is on the improve. It's drawn the 1. It's going to get a very cushy run and be very competitive. It's the main danger to Hume. And I'm putting in number 9, Larry Cassidy's Mount Listen Son. So I like 7, 10 and 9. Now coming up, we've got Debbie Rogerson, where we're going to talk to her and have a look at Scarlet Lady working out here with Shootout. And we're also going to talk about Dowager Queen, Rogerson's horse that's running in the Sires. So now, as well, stay tuned. We've got the $1 million putt coming up, and we're also going to take a little insight into Military Grace being purchased at the Million sale as a yearling.
So stay tuned.
So join us after Debbie Rogerson. I'm with Debbie Rogerson, wife of trainer Graham Rogerson, who are a training partnership over in New Zealand. Debbie, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Now you're over here with 2 lovely horses and big contenders in the weekend's racing. You've got Scarlet Lady in the Oaks. She looks to be a mighty chance.
Yes, on her win in the Doomben Roses, you think she would, and she probably deserves to go into the Oaks favourite. I'm very happy with her. She worked really nice this morning.
She worked with Shootout. and you rode her. How did she feel?
Yeah, she felt great. The track was pretty wet. I think she prefers the track a little bit drier. She got through it this morning, but I was very happy with her work.
Do you think when horses work on heavy tracks, do they struggle to pull up?
No, she's hard and fit and seasoned, and we've had a few wet tracks back home, so that's no issues with her at all.
And do you think getting the 2400 of the Oaks is no problem?
No, she's by Savabeel, and I think the triple really suit her.
And who's riding her?
James McDonald is coming over.
Oh, very nice. And James is a very competent rider over in New Zealand?
He is. He's one of our best, and probably the best that New Zealand's ever produced, and we have a lot of luck with him. And
how did you acquire Scarlet Lady?
The owner, Max Whitby, went to Karaka, New Zealand Bloodstock Sales, which is the yearling sales in New Zealand, and he picked her out and purchased her off Waikato Stud Draft.
For how much?
It was about 80,000 New Zealand.
So it seems to turned out to be a very good investment.
She has. She's ended up a very good buy.
Now you also have another runner in the size produce, Dowager Queen.
Yes, she's also by Savabeel. She's not an over big filly. She worked nice this morning, and she won the Weight for Age race in New Zealand last start, only carrying 46 kilos. So the trip is no issue with her. She's won a 1400 at a mile, so I just hope she's right. Got her foot on the tool.
Now there'll be a big jump in weight from 46 kilos to 55 for the size. How will that impact on her?
No, it won't, because the start before the Weight for Age race, it was set weights, and it was a 2-year-old mile Champagne, and she had a bit of weight in that, and she carried it good.
Well, Debbie, how long have you been married to Graham?
We've been together for 25 years, and we've only been married for the last 4 years.
And what brought that on, the marriage?
I have no idea. Sudden impulse, probably.
Well, Debbie, thank you for joining us on Racing in Queensland, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
He's very happy that he's purchased a horse off you. What's your opinion on the horse?
Well, that horse is out of the best family in the stud book. That's Denise's Joy family, Bentley Biscuit, Thorn Parr, Light Up the World. This is the best family in the stud book. Our Hoss has bought that horse. When it was parading up there, I looked at it again, I thought, I shouldn't be selling this horse, right? This is a bloody runner, right? And I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to get 150 for this, minimum, right? And then bugger me if it's not knocked down to Hoss Heinrich for $100,000. He's stolen it off me, okay? Stolen it!
Hoss mentioned that he bought the horse half price. Does he get a TV for half price?
No, he owes me. I want 2 years free training from his wife, okay?
I don't think he's happy. He wants a TV for half price. The biggest one in the store, he said.
That horse was born on the 2nd of August. And if you have a look at it, it's a power machine. If that horse doesn't run over, I'll bend over for everyone at the sale. There you go.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay.
And an interesting insight there with Debbie Rogerson looking at Dowager Queen and Scarlet Lady working with Shootout there on the course proper. She looked very impressive.
She did. She worked quite well, so she'll be a big hope in the Oaks.
What do you like in the Oaks?
I've gone on Filly's Day with Philadelphia. She's been a good, consistent filly. She was a good 2-year-old. She's come back as a 3-year-old now. 2 starts ago, she gave the Colts and Geldings 3-year-olds an absolute whopping. So last start, she was only beaten 3/4 of a length. So I think she'll be right at the peak of her game for Saturday.
Yep.
I think Robbie Heathcote, that's his first Group 1, mate. That'll be it on Saturday, the Oaks.
I disagree.
And yeah, I know, but that's your job to disagree with me. Second, I've picked another aptly named day for Filly's Day at Eagle Farm in Divorces from the Peter Snowden stable. I think Peter's, as I've said before, will have a big day, and I think Divorces will be right up there. At third, I like number 8, Savannah's Choice, consistent runner from the Chris Waller stable, and Chris has been on fire up here as well, so I've taken 5, 1 and 8, and I'll throw in the Scarlet Lady from the Rogerson stables for my first ball.
Yeah, nice, interesting insight there, Paul, with Philadelphia. I don't agree with you, of course. I like number 4, Scarlet Lady. After watching her work during the week, she worked very impressively with Shootout. I like her on top. I think Rogerson's got the knack with the Savabeels. He's got not only Scarlet Lady, he's got Dowager Queen. who again is by Savabeel. He himself trained Savabeel, so I think he's got a little knack with the Savabeels.
He did, and we sold Savabeel, so it all happens.
Yeah,
for a
well, that's
reason.
right. So I like number 4, Scarlet Lady, and it's got the informed James McDonald on board, who as we saw in the interview with Debbie, she thinks that James is one of the best riders ever to come out of New Zealand.
I'm sure Larry would have something to say about that.
I'm sure he would. I like number 3, Fibrillation, for second from the Tim Martin stable. She ran 4th in the Oaks. She's a quality filly. She's got class on her side, and I'm putting in her for second, and number 1, Divorces, for third. So I'm putting Scarlet Lady on top by Savabeel from the Rogerson stable. I'm putting in number 3, Fibrillation, for second, and number 1, Divorces, for third. So I'm tipping 4, 3 and 1. Now next week it's a huge show. We've got the Stradbroke and Derby Day, Paul.
It is a bumper program. You've been out with your camera, filming, interviewing. You've been doing great. So what's coming up, mate? What have you got lined up for next week?
It's huge. It is absolutely huge. It's
Bigger
a bumper
than Ben
pack.
Hur?
Bigger than Ben Hur. We've
Beautiful.
got Larry Cassidy back on board, who's going to talk about his rides for the program. We've got an interview with the BRC chairman, Kevin Dixon. We've got Glenn Collis, who's going to have a bit of a discussion about his ride on Shootout. He's riding it for the first time, replacing Corey Brown. We've got a little greyhound segment with Greyhound Pat. And we've also got a look at Glenn Logan Stallion Show a Heart. So it's a bumper program. So stay tuned with us next week. But before we go, we're going to leave you with the putt of the $1 Million Putt with Larry Cassidy. So join us next week, same time, same place. And you can catch us at www.racinginqueensland.com. Paul, it's been a pleasure.
Jess, as always, it is a pleasure.
So join us, same place, same time next week. Bye for now. We're here now at the lovely Parkwood Golf Club. Parkwood International Golf Club, I should say. And this is where it's at. The $1 Million Putt. Has Larry Cassidy got what it takes for $1 million? The pressure's on. He's lining it up. Quiet in the audience. Hang on, stop. You gotta stop. So I'm going to bring the camera down and get the ball rolling into the cup.
I just lined it up.
Reline it. Okay.
Can't reline it.
The pressure's on. This for the $1 million. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he's fluffed it. Oh, it's all over. Just like you on the golf course. Oh, God, the $1 million putt, it's all over. Nah, when it comes to the crunch, you're definitely a Greg Norman.